bioscanners detect some sort of mutagen in the vegetable.
Remember this show? Are you feeling a sudden, intense urge to watch it right now? Well, you can't, because the show isn't available on Disney+. And it's all thanks to Pixar. Hi, I'm Dr. Panda, the only panda who's ever defeated Zurg. And in this video, we're diving into the case of Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, an animated series that defined the childhood of many, but that Pixar has tried to bury since the very day it premiered. And the reason probably isn't what you think. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, or as I like to call him, the Romanian Buzz Lightyear, was an animated series that premiered on October 2nd of the year 2000. It was produced by Bob Shuley and Mark McCorkle, the pair who would later go on to create the Disney Channel hit Kim Possible.
So what's the sitch?
Instead of Tim Allen, Buzz was voiced by Patrick Warburton, who you probably remember more as the voice of this guy.
Oh, right, the poison for Cusco.
After it premiered, the series ended up becoming the last Toy Story-related project for nearly a decade, all because it seriously ticked Pixar off, and I'll tell you why in just a minute. The show followed Space Ranger Buzz Lightyear as he investigated threats to galactic peace, most of which came from the evil Emperor Zurg of Planet Z, commander of a massive battalion of heavily armed robots. The twist? Buzz wasn't working solo. Due to his experience, he'd been forced to mentor a team of rookies, despite his loner personality. Throughout the series, Buzz gradually went from being indifferent to them to caring for them as family. The Lightyear team had 4 main members, and this is important, so you'll want to pay close attention. Buzz was the leader.
Of course!
Zurg's planet destroyer is merely a cross-dimensional translocator.
With a personality pretty close to what we saw in the movies. Serious, professional, resourceful, though a bit awkward in social situations. Then there was Booster Sinclair Munchapper.
Please! A house divided cannot stand!
A chubby red alien who used to be a janitor at Star Command. He got promoted to Space Ranger after impressively reciting the Ranger Handbook from memory. He's shy and timid, but incredibly strong. Next up is XR, or Experimental Ranger.
A trooper! She's great!
A robot with an emotional personality and a ton of gadgets who gets destroyed at the end of almost every mission, but is easily reassembled. And finally, Mira Nova.
Bring it on.
A blue-skinned alien with 2 eyes. I know that's a weird thing to say, but you'll understand in a minute. Who has the powers of intangibility and telepathy. She's the one you need to remember, because she's involved in what happened to a Disneyland ride after an insistent request from a high-up at Pixar. The show was a perfect mix of action, sci-fi, and comedy, making it a favorite for many fans. So it was surprising to see it last only 1 season of 62 episodes. Then again, maybe it wasn't all that surprising after all. Like I said at the start, this series isn't available on Disney+, or anywhere else legally for that matter, despite the fact that many other shows from the same era are available on the platform. There's also 0 merchandise directly tied to the series available today. It's like they're trying to erase it to pretend it never existed, but why? I know what you're thinking. Lightyear, the Pixar movie from 2022 that gave us the origin story of the iconic toy.
Quick, subscribe if you've never seen Lightyear.
The Lightyear movie was the complete opposite of what the original Buzz series gave us. While Buzz Lightyear of Star Command was colorful, fun, and balanced action with humor through memorable characters, the movie was darker, more dramatic, and set in a universe that just didn't feel as alive or creative. But Pixar's grudge against the series didn't start with the movie. In fact, they had already been opposing the show as far back as the year 2000, basically since day one. And there's one word on Pixar's official site that might reveal how they really feel about the show, more specifically on the Lightyear page. If you visit the official Lightyear webpage, a place not many have dared to enter, you'll find something very interesting. You see it? No? How about now? The definitive origin story of Buzz Lightyear. Definitive. Strange word choice, isn't it? Like this is the version that matters. Like all other versions are phony and unofficial wannabes. Definitive is a very intentional word. Most people assume the series was a Disney-Pixar co-production. Even the Wikipedia page says so. But was it? Yes, Pixar was involved, but only in a microscopic part of the whole thing, the intro. The The rest of the series was handled by Walt Disney Television Animation, which had full freedom to create and modify stories, characters, and personality traits, something Pixar wasn't too happy about, especially him, John Lasseter. Lasseter is the former chief creative officer of Pixar who directed some of its biggest films, including Cars, A Bug's Life, and yep, Toy Story 1 and 2. He was so powerful, he could force changes to Disneyland rides with a flick of a finger. Disney is known for squeezing every last drop out of its franchises. Clothes, toys, video games, mugs, hairbrushes, toothbrushes, and even comic books. And Toy Story was no exception. Shortly after the release of Toy Story 2, Disney was developing a comic book about the movie, and one of the artists had the brilliant idea to include Booster in one of the stories. It got approved, and the team got to work, excited to bring the character in. But just as they were deep into production, someone suddenly barged into their office. It was Lasseter. This was confirmed on Twitter by one of the artists who worked on that comic, who also claimed Lasseter hated the show. Do you know who loves comics? Mr. Toad. And do you know where he is? That's right, at Disneyland. I'm just trying to connect topics with a smooth transition that's clearly not happening. Anyways, unaware of the comic incident, someone at Disneyland came up with a similar idea. An idea that got a character erased from the park. Look familiar? Legend has it, a very credible legend if you ask me, that this character was originally meant to be Mira Nova, but as soon as Lasseter found out, he ordered changes to erase any connection to the animated series, including adding a random third eye to the character. I mean, just look at her. Seems a little too similar, doesn't she? Well, that legend actually came straight from Tad Stones, executive producer and director of Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. In an interview from 2020, Stones explained that although he never heard Lasseter outright say he hated the series, there were a lot of signs that the Pixar chief used his influence to sort of disown the show, even going so far as to change Mira Nova's appearance on the ride's entrance. At this point, it's clear Lasseter wasn't a fan of the show, but why? The answer might lie in a deleted scene from Toy Story. In that same amazing interview, available on Jay Steele's YouTube channel, Stones revealed that Lasseter had considered the idea of a Buzz Lightyear series, and there's even a deleted scene from Toy Story 1 that shows what that version might have looked like, and also gives us an early look at a prototype Zurg.
Ha ha ha, come to me, my prey.
In the clip, we see an over-the-top, heroic Buzz facing a Zurg that serves mostly as comic relief. The tone is very reminiscent of 80s action shows like Adam West's Batman, or in Stone's words,
but for him, that was, Space Ghost or Matt Mason or more like a G.I. Joe show.
That version is very different from what Buzz Lightyear of Star Command became. And maybe, whether it was out of pride, creative disagreement, or pure ego, that didn't sit well with John Lasseter. Did the series make a comeback? There's no doubt that Buzz Lightyear of Star Command is fondly remembered by fans all over the world. However, the failure of the Lightyear movie will probably make Disney and Pixar think there's no future in standalone Buzz projects, so it's hard to imagine we'll ever get new episodes of the series. But let's take it one step at a time. Just having the show available on Disney Plus would already be a big win, and hopefully, that day will come soon. And if we could get toys or collectibles to celebrate the series, heck, even if just a bunch of Funkos, I'd be more than happy with that. And can we throw in some new animatronics for the Buzz Lightyear ride? Hey, let me dream, I have a doctorate. One way or another, and despite all of Pixar's efforts, we'll never forget you, Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. Do you think Pixar is right to try and bury the series? Let me know in the comments. Dr. Panda out. Remember Spider-Man Unlimited? Want to know why Marvel sabotaged that forgotten low-budget series? Click on this video.